What if the most dangerous thing hurting your heart wasn't a disease, but something you do every day without thinking? I've been a heart doctor for over 30 years, and let me tell you, the heart doesn't just break from cholesterol or clogged arteries. It breaks from neglect, quiet daily choices that seem harmless until they aren't. One retired firefighter came into my office last fall. Fit, sharp, thought he was fine. 30 minutes later, we found early-stage heart failure triggered by a daily habit he thought was normal. He's not alone. Millions of adults over 60 are slowly damaging their hearts, not from bad luck, but from habits no one warned them about. In this video, I'll expose 10 hidden behaviors that are pushing your heart closer to failure, and the #1 silent habit I beg my senior patients to stop right now. This isn't about fear, it's about action, small changes that can give your heart decades more strength. If you care about living strong and independent, watch this to the end. Like the video, subscribe to Live Healthy After 50, and tell us in the comments which of these habits surprised you the most. #1, the most dangerous habit, skipping your blood pressure medication. It doesn't cause pain. It doesn't make you dizzy. Most days it doesn't feel like anything at all. And that's exactly why high blood pressure is so deadly. You may think I feel fine. My numbers weren't that high. Maybe I don't need the pills anymore. That one decision to skip your medication is one of the leading reasons seniors end up in the ER with heart attack, strokes, or kidney failure. Here's the truth most people don't hear. High blood pressure doesn't scream. It whispers, quietly, constantly. While you go about your day, it stiffens your arteries. It puts pressure on the heart. It damages the tiny vessels in your brain and kidneys. By the time symptoms appear, the damage is often already done. According to the CDC, nearly half of adults in the US have high blood pressure. Only about 1 in 4 have it under control. That's not because they're all ignoring it, but because many stop taking their meds when they feel okay. Feeling fine doesn't mean your heart is safe. It just means your heart is fighting without your help. This isn't about fear, it's about being consistent. One tiny pill taken daily can protect you from years of suffering, but skipping just a few days that can spike your pressure, thicken your heart muscle, and lead to sudden cardiac events. So what can you do? Start by making it automatic. Use a pill organizer. Set a phone reminder. Leave a sticky note on your mirror. Keep a home blood pressure monitor and check a few times a week. Write it down. Share the numbers with your doctor. And if your medication makes you feel off, don't stop. Talk to your doctor. There are dozens of options, and you deserve one that works with your body, not against it. Remember, your heart's been beating every second of your life. It's time you gave it some backup. Not because you're sick, but because you're smart. #2, sitting too much, the silent heart strain. You don't feel it. Not when you're reading the paper, not when you're watching TV, not even when you've been on the couch for 3 hours straight. But inside your body, your heart is quietly paying the price. When you sit for most of the day, especially after age 60, blood flow slows down. Your circulation weakens. Fat and cholesterol start to build up in your arteries. The heart, forced to push harder through sluggish blood, begins to strain and then wear out. The Mayo Clinic reports that prolonged sitting is linked to higher risks of heart disease, diabetes, and even premature death regardless of your weight or diet. In fact, some studies suggest that sitting for more than 8 hours a day has the same health risks as smoking. It's not about running marathons, it's about movement. Just 15 minutes of walking in the morning and another 15 in the evening can lower your risk of heart attack by up to 50%. That's not a small number. That's the difference between a hospital bed and another year enjoying your grandkids. Your legs were built to move. When they stop, everything else slows down too, including your heart's ability to do its job. You don't need fancy shoes. You don't need a gym membership. All you need is to stand up and start. Walk around the block. Walk to the mailbox. Walk in circles inside the house if you have to. Your heart doesn't care where you go. It just wants you to go. So if your day has more sitting than stepping, it's time to make a change. Not tomorrow, not next week. Start today. Stand up. Take that first step. Your heart will feel it, even if you don't. #3, the killer breakfast, heavy fat, salt, and sugar before 9 a.m. It looks harmless. A couple slices of bacon, maybe some buttered toast, a cup of strong coffee with extra cream and sugar. It tastes comforting, but for your heart, it's a morning minefield. Studies show that most heart attacks happen in the early hours, and it's no coincidence. Your blood is thicker in the morning, your blood pressure naturally spikes. Now add a heavy, greasy breakfast on top of that saturated fat, sodium, refined sugar, and your heart has to work double time just to keep up. Here's the scary part: you won't feel it happening. No sharp pain, no warning signs, just silent stress building up inside your arteries every single morning. Sausages, fried eggs, pancakes with syrup, they're not just comfort food. For an aging heart, they're a dangerous overload. A Harvard study found that a diet high in processed breakfast meats increases the risk of cardiovascular disease by 42%. That's not a bad weekend. That's your future on the line. But the fix is simple and delicious. Try warm oatmeal with berries, or whole grain toast with mashed avocado, boiled eggs with a side of fresh fruit. Even a homemade smoothie with spinach and banana can fuel your body without burdening your heart. These foods don't spike your cholesterol. They don't clog your arteries. They give your heart what it really needs: steady energy and clean blood flow. What you eat first thing sets the rhythm for the rest of the day. Give your heart a calm, healthy start. Because breakfast shouldn't be the most dangerous part of your day. Number 4, the hidden salt trap: how sodium sneaks into your heart. You may not be reaching for the salt shaker, but chances are salt is still sneaking into your body every single day. Canned soups, packaged bread, frozen dinners, even healthy items like veggie burgers and salad dressings. They're packed with sodium not for flavor, but for shelf life. The problem: your heart doesn't care where the salt comes from. It only knows what it has to deal with after more water retention, more blood volume, more pressure on the arteries. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. For older adults, that's less than a teaspoon. Yet the average American eats nearly double that, often without realizing it. And the damage is slow, silent. Salt tightens your blood vessels. It makes your heart pump harder. Over time, it leads to high blood pressure, and from there, to strokes, heart failure, or kidney disease. You might feel fine now, but salt builds up like rust in the plumbing quietly until something bursts. So what can you do? Start with awareness. Read every label. If it says sodium, check the number. Even small swaps make a difference. Choose low-sodium broth, switch from processed snacks to fresh fruit or unsalted nuts. Use lemon juice, garlic pepper, or herbs to boost flavor without the salt. Your taste buds adjust faster than you think, often in just 2 weeks. And your heart, it starts thanking you almost immediately. You're not giving up flavor, you're giving up risk. Less salt, more life. It's that simple. Number 5, fried foods and fast food, a shortcut to heart trouble. It's quick, it's cheap, and let's be honest, it tastes good. But every bite of fried chicken, French fries, or that burger from the drive-thru comes at a cost your heart quietly pays. Fried foods are loaded with trans fats and oxidized oils, especially when restaurants reuse oil again and again, which they often do. These fats don't just raise your cholesterol, they harden your arteries, narrow the blood vessels, and force your heart to work harder with every beat. Over time, this constant strain leads to plaque buildup, high blood pressure, and eventually heart attacks or heart failure. You might not feel it now, but your arteries remember every greasy bite. A major study published in BMJ tracked over 750,000 participants. The findings: eating fried food even once or twice a week increased the risk of heart disease by 28%. And for people over 60, the risk is even greater. As we age, our metabolism slows down. Our bodies don't process fats the way they used to. That crispy snack you could once shrug off in your 30s, it's a direct hit to your heart in your 60s and beyond. But here's the good news: you don't have to give up flavor. Start cooking at home. Use your oven instead of a deep fryer. Steam your vegetables. Roast your chicken. Try olive oil in small amounts instead of reusing cooking oil. Air fryers are a great option too. They give you that satisfying crunch without drowning your food in oil. Your food should give your body energy, not inflammation. It should power your day, not pressure your heart. What you eat becomes your blood. If it's clean, your heart flows free. If it's heavy, greasy, and fried, your heart fights harder to survive. Cook smart, eat light, and let your heart breathe a little easier. Number 6, bottling up emotions when stress silently attacks your heart. You tell yourself to stay strong, to not complain, to keep it together for the family. But inside your heart hears every unspoken word, and it carries the weight. When you hold in stress, when you bury frustration, sadness, or fear, your body doesn't forget. It responds. Your adrenal glands pump out cortisol, the stress hormone. If that hormone stays elevated day after day, it starts wearing your heart down. Your pulse quickens, your blood vessels tighten, your blood pressure climbs quietly consistently. The American Psychological Association warns that chronic stress is one of the most overlooked risk factors for heart disease, especially in older adults. And it doesn't take a traumatic event. Sometimes it's the everyday stuff, finances, loneliness, caregiving, grief that slowly fills the emotional tank until it overflows. And yet so many people over 60 say the same thing: I don't want to burden anyone. I've been through worse. I'll deal with it. But your heart doesn't know pride. It only feels pressure. And over time, that pressure stiffens your arteries. It makes your heart pump harder than it should. It steals years from your life, not all at once, but little by little. You don't need therapy to begin healing. You just need an outlet. Start with 5 minutes of deep breathing in the morning. Write a few honest sentences in a notebook before bed. Take a quiet walk and let your mind unpack what it's been holding. Or simply talk with a friend, a neighbor, a support group, or someone who's been there. You are not weak for feeling. You are wise for releasing. Because peace isn't just a state of mind. It's a prescription your heart has been waiting for. Number 7, daily alcohol, a slow poison for the aging heart. They say a glass of wine a day is good for you, that it's heart healthy, that it helps you relax. But after 60, that same glass can do more harm than good. As we age, our bodies change. The liver slows down. Kidneys don't filter as quickly. And alcohol stays in the bloodstream longer, hitting harder, lasting longer, and stressing the heart more than ever before. Even small amounts of drink or two in the evening can raise your nighttime blood pressure, disrupt your sleep, and increase your risk of atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat that's a major cause of stroke in older adults. A study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that daily alcohol use in seniors was associated with a higher risk of cardiomyopathy, where the heart muscle weakens and struggles to pump blood efficiently. And here's what most people miss. Alcohol interacts with common medications for blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, reducing their effectiveness or causing dangerous side effects. It can also mess with your mood, your memory, even your balance, leading to falls, confusion, or fatigue. You don't have to be an alcoholic to have alcohol-related heart damage. You just have to drink daily. If you already have heart disease, high blood pressure, or irregular rhythm, alcohol only adds fuel to the fire. So what's the answer? Ideally quit. But if you choose to drink, limit it to no more than 1 drink per day and not every day. Give your body time to recover. Give your heart room to breathe. You don't need alcohol to unwind. Try herbal tea, a warm bath, soft music, or a walk under the stars. Because in the end, peace isn't found at the bottom of a bottle. It's found in a healthy heart that still has many years left to give. Number 8, ignoring snoring and sleep apnea when nighttime turns dangerous. You think it's just snoring, annoying maybe, a little loud, something your spouse complains about now and then. But what if that sound is your heart's distress signal? Loud chronic snoring, especially when paired with gasping or long pauses in breathing, can be a sign of sleep apnea, a condition where your breathing stops and starts while you sleep. And every pause means your brain and heart are being starved of oxygen over and over again all night long. The damage is quiet, but it's real. Sleep apnea causes spikes in blood pressure. It stresses your heart rhythm, and over time it raises your risk for heart failure, stroke, and sudden cardiac death. According to the American Heart Association, untreated sleep apnea significantly increases the risk of atrial fibrillation, a dangerous form of irregular heartbeat. It also worsens existing heart conditions, even when you're taking all your medications. And here's the tricky part. Most people don't know they have it. They just feel tired, foggy, forgetful. They wake up with dry mouth or morning headaches, but they never connect it to breathing at night. If your partner says you snore loudly, if you wake up gasping, or if you constantly feel exhausted even after a full night's sleep, it's time to talk to your doctor. A simple sleep study, even one done at home, can tell you if your heart is being starved of oxygen. And the fix, it's easier than you think. CPAP machines or special oral devices can keep your airway open while you sleep, quietly, comfortably, and most importantly, safely. Sleep is when your heart repairs itself. When you lose that window, you lose protection. Snoring is not just noise. It might be your heart saying, I'm struggling. Listen before it's too late. Number 9, nighttime screens. How phones and TVs keep your heart awake. It's just a few minutes of scrolling, or maybe one last episode before bed. Nothing harmful, or so it seems. But the truth is that glowing screen in your hand might be quietly robbing your heart of its chance to recover. Phones, tablets, TVs, they all give off blue light, which disrupts your body's natural production of melatonin. That's the hormone that helps you fall asleep and stay asleep. Without it, your brain stays alert, your nervous system stays active, and your heart never gets to fully rest. The Cleveland Clinic reports that exposure to blue light before bed can raise nighttime blood pressure, increase heart rate, and throw off your circadian rhythm, especially in older adults. That means your body stays in stress mode even while you sleep. You may not feel it right away, but over time, poor sleep adds up, leading to higher risks of hypertension, arrhythmia, and even heart failure. Your heart needs quiet, it needs rhythm, it needs rest. Late night news, dramatic movies, endless social feeds, they stimulate your mind, spike your cortisol, and keep your heart on edge long after the screen goes dark. So what can you do? Start by creating a wind-down routine. Turn off all screens at least an hour before bed. Dim the lights. Read a physical book, nothing too heavy. Listen to soft music. Do light stretching. Let your body know it's safe to relax. Sleep isn't just about getting through the night. It's the only time your heart isn't fighting gravity, the only time it gets to fully recharge. So tonight, give it that chance. Power down, breathe deep, and let your heart do what it was built to do, heal. Number 10, smoking or inhaling smoke. The fast track to clogged arteries. You already know smoking is bad for your lungs. But what it does to your heart, especially after age 60, is far worse than most people realize. Each puff sends a storm of toxic chemicals directly into your bloodstream. And those chemicals don't just disappear. They attack the lining of your blood vessels, causing inflammation, narrowing, and eventually the buildup of deadly plaque. Over time, your arteries stiffen, your blood pressure rises, and your heart has to work harder every hour, every day, just to keep you alive. And it's not just your heart. Smoking raises your risk of stroke, aneurysm, and sudden cardiac death. Even if you've smoked for decades, the next cigarette still adds new damage. Secondhand smoke, just as dangerous. Living with a smoker, even if you've never touched a cigarette yourself, increases your risk of heart disease by 25–30%, according to the American Heart Association. But here's the good news: the moment you stop, your body starts to heal. Within 24 hours, your blood pressure begins to drop. Within weeks, your circulation improves. Within months, your heart disease risk falls, and it keeps dropping with every smoke-free day. Quitting isn't easy, but it's never too late. Talk to your doctor. Ask about nicotine patches, prescription aids, or support programs. Tell your family. Get someone on your team. You don't have to do it alone, because every cigarette you skip, every craving you overcome, that's your heart getting stronger. This isn't just about quitting a habit. It's about giving yourself the chance to live longer and live well. Your heart has been beating for you faithfully, silently, through every joy, every hardship, every single day of your life. But after 60, it needs something in return. Not expensive treatments, not miracle pills, just small, steady choices made with care. A morning walk, a lighter breakfast, a little less salt, a quiet moment to breathe. That's how real healing begins. You don't have to fix everything all at once. Start with just one habit, one change, one promise to your heart. And if the journey feels overwhelming, you're not alone. There are tools to help, like the Senior Health Tracker reminders, meal tips, support, all designed for folks just like you. Consistency matters more than perfection. I'm not just your doctor. I'm here to walk beside you so you can live longer, move better, and enjoy life with strength and peace. If this helped you, don't forget to subscribe. Your health is your greatest wealth.